Albert DeSalvo's story is a chilling reminder that monsters are often made, not born. Born in Chelsea, Massachusetts in 1931, DeSalvo's childhood was marred by violence and instability. His father, Frank DeSalvo, was an abusive alcoholic who reportedly made his wife and children participate in his bizarre sexual acts. Young Albert witnessed his father beat his mother regularly. This traumatic upbringing cast a long shadow. DeSalvo's descent into darkness began early. He struggled in school and developed a pattern of petty theft and delinquency. He joined the army, but was dishonorably discharged after being court-martialed. DeSalvo married and fathered 2 children, but his criminal behavior continued. He drifted from job to job, all the while engaging in increasingly disturbing acts. His life was a slow spiral, each incident pushing him closer to the edge. By the time the name Boston Strangler entered public consciousness, DeSalvo was already a seasoned criminal. He had a history of assault and sexual offenses, often targeting women he encountered through his work as a handyman. Little did anyone suspect that this seemingly ordinary man harbored such dark secrets. The seeds of violence, sown in a childhood of abuse and neglect, were about to bear terrifying fruit. Between June 1962 and January 1964, a wave of terror gripped Boston. 13 women, ranging in age from 19 to 85, were found murdered in their homes. The victims, mostly living alone, were sexually assaulted and strangled, their bodies left in gruesome poses. The city was paralyzed by fear as the body count rose. The killings were shocking in their brutality. The victims were often found with their own stockings or underwear used as ligatures. Their apartments were left seemingly undisturbed, with no signs of forced entry. This suggested that the women may have known their attacker or let him in willingly. The killer, dubbed the Boston Strangler by the media, seemed to vanish into thin air after each murder. The police worked tirelessly to catch the Strangler, but the case proved frustratingly elusive. The lack of physical evidence and the seemingly random nature of the attacks made it difficult to establish a pattern. Fear and suspicion ran rampant in Boston. Women were afraid to be alone in their own homes. The city held its breath, waiting for the next terrifying headline. In 1965, while serving time for unrelated offenses, Albert DeSalvo confessed to being the Boston Strangler. He provided chilling details of the murders, but his confession was met with skepticism. No physical evidence linked him to the crime scenes, and some details in his accounts didn't match up. Adding to the intrigue was DeSalvo's cellmate, George Nassar. Nassar, a convicted arsonist with a history of manipulation, claimed to have helped DeSalvo craft his confession. He alleged that DeSalvo was promised a share of the profits from the book deal if he took the fall for the murders. Nassar's claims fueled suspicions that DeSalvo, desperate for fame or money, had been coached to confess to crimes he didn't commit. The controversy surrounding DeSalvo's confession only deepened the mystery. Was he a cunning manipulator who had managed to fool the authorities? Or was he an innocent man caught up in a web of lies spun by a master manipulator? The truth, it seemed, was as elusive as ever. In 2013, DNA evidence definitively linked Albert DeSalvo to the murder of Mary Sullivan, the Strangler's last victim. The findings seemed to finally close the case, but questions and doubts lingered. The lack of physical evidence connecting DeSalvo to the other 12 murders left many unconvinced that he was solely responsible for the reign of terror that had gripped Boston. DeSalvo was never convicted of the Boston Strangler murders. He was stabbed to death in prison in 1973, taking his secrets to the grave. The case, however, continues to fascinate and frustrate investigators and armchair detectives alike. New leads and theories continue to emerge, ensuring that the legend of the Boston Strangler remains firmly entrenched in American criminal law. The Boston Strangler case had a profound impact on criminal profiling and forensic science. It exposed the limitations of traditional investigative techniques and underscored the need for more sophisticated methods of evidence collection and analysis. More importantly, it left an indelible mark on the American psyche, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life.